Hey planty people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I kind of wanted to just go around and inspect my plants and show you guys some new growth that's been happening. There's actually quite a bit of it, and I pretty much, I know I talked a little bit about some things that have been going on in a previous video, but now I really wanted to get in depth and show you guys exactly what I was talking about. Okay, so Hoya Bella always is showing me new growth lately. I don't know what it is. I haven't fertilized her in I don't know how long, so I probably really need to get on that. But she is growing almost like a weed at times, but I freaking love it. I just really would love to have a super freaking long Hoya Bella. Probably need to trim that at some point, but that's for another day. Let me see. This Monstera siltepecana has grown both of these two new baby leaves off of this part. I actually did a cutting from here not too long ago, so glad to see that the leaves are coming in so nicely. They are, you know, on the smaller side. Like here's one of the more original leaves that it came to me with, and they're definitely much smaller. There are some new growth points right there. And when I say new growth points, I mean new foliage. We're not talking about him because I'm mad at him right now. My cissus discolor is always growing. Definitely need to give it a chop soon, but I talked to you guys about that in my cissus care tips. My Rhaphidophora tetrasperma cutting has a beautiful new root and it's growing really, really well. This is the only survivor of the 3 cuttings that I have, but it is a really good, healthy one, so we're happy about that. My Amedrium medium silver has a little baby growth point. Let me see if I can get it to focus a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful growth point. I don't understand, like, you guys will never understand how excited I am for this. I just cannot wait for it to just shoot up and sprout out because we've been through it. This guy has really put me through it. So back in the water you go. And Anthurium warocqueanum, I talked about this guy as well, but I'm pretty sure that that is a new leaf. And I think that this might be something as well, but I'm not 100% sure because it's not as prominent. But this guy, I'm pretty sure, is a new leaf, and I cannot wait for that to continue sprouting because it would just be a dream come true to have a brand new, just like perfectly healthy leaf sprout out in my care. That would just, I would be living and breathing and dying for that. My, what are you called? My Alocasia Frydek. Why? I could not think of Alocasia to save my life. My Alocasia Frydek is putting out a brand new leaf right there, which means somebody's probably gonna go. And I have a feeling it's probably this guy because they always kill one leaf off after a new one arrives. Let's look at my Anthurium crystallinum dorayaki. Now if you look right here, we have a new little sprout coming out, which I am also really excited for because this leaf was going to be perfect until I bumped it. And I just really would love to have a perfect Anthurium leaf. This guy isn't doing very well. It almost looks like an infection or a bacteria, which is worrisome. So I might be doing a little bit of trimming right there and up here at some point. But for now, we're just gonna put you back in your spot. Monstera Peru is constantly putting out new foliage. Like this one is just, I love the way it comes in because it just looks so glossy and like reptilian, and it feels kind of like that too. Alocasia Zebrina Alocasia reticulata zebrina, or other way around. This new leaf came out and it is gorgeous and glossy, and it hasn't hardened off yet, still floppy, so I'm hoping that it'll do some good growing. And I'm ready for more leaves to procure because I want to chop this one, I want to chop this one. This one can still stay for the time being, but the other two need to go and get out of my sight. Philodendron mame has a new leaf. Look how massive this new leaf is, and it still hasn't hardened off yet. So that means it's only gonna grow and get bigger. It's already almost the size of this guy, which means really big and glorious things for my mame. I'm so tickled, so excited to see like what it's going to end up, like the size that it's going to end up being. Philodendron squamiferum is finally getting ready to sprout a new leaf for me as well. It came to me, and whenever I got it, it had the I want to call it the casing. This was still wrapped around it. The new foliage slash petiole hadn't come out of the sheath yet, so that's exciting. We're getting somewhere with that. My other squamiferum is also getting ready to come out of its sheath, so we're gonna have so many new squamiferum updates. Yay! Philodendron burl marks. This is a new leaf. It's almost hardened off. It's still really, really floppy, but we've got a new leaf right here that's getting ready to unfurl. Lots of new growth right here and right here, and some more like way down in there. So this guy has done really, really, really well, and like would definitely recommend. My begonia amphioxus, it got actually too long and too tall, so I actually gave it a little bit of a snip, and I just immediately stuck it right back in the soil, and it looks like the plant is doing just fine. Like there was absolutely no shock or anything. Like no leaves died. I'm pretty proud to say that this guy is still killing it. My other Hoya Bella is doing really, really well as well too. Tons of new growth every single day. Let's see. Syngonium albo has a new leaf coming out as well, and it looks like it's got some good variegation coming out with it. This is a new Birkin leaf. It's not, I don't think it's quite as variegated as the previous leaves, but that's okay. My Philodendron subhestatum looks like it's got a new little growth point right there and right there, but I do believe that it came to me with that growth point, but I don't remember seeing this until I guess just now. So that's cool. What else? My Hoya multiflora, it's got these two new leaves and that new peduncle. Hoya polynura has these two new leaves. So since I've had this guy, he's put out 4 new leaves for me. It is, I don't think you guys understand like how tempting it is to give this a chop, but I'm going to refrain and let it grow out a little bit more before I take any type of cutting. Hoya Bella cuttings that are growing. Let's see what else. I don't think I ever showed you guys this teeny tiny little variegated alocasia that I have, but I actually bought a much larger one, and this was a pup that was growing in it. So I think it just had this leaf, and it had like a new little growth point that was coming out, and this was what emerged, which is absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to see this guy grow out a little bit more and get some much bigger foliage. Let's see. Philodendron brantianum, this is a new leaf. You can tell because it's one that's still really floppy and it's kind of bronzy, as well as, let me get it in some better light. as well as this leaf. It's not as new as the other one, but it's still doing it to them, and new growth. Okay, so I think that's about all the new growth for in this room, so let's continue into another room. There's really only one new growth opportunity that I want to talk about here, and that is my Hoya caudata. This little tiny baby leaf has survived through the brink of death, and it's growing so big. It was like smaller than the size of my pinky, and now it's actually pretty good, pretty substantial for the time being. Still really nice and floppy, so it's definitely going to get a lot bigger. But I think that's really the only growth update that I have for any of these guys over here. So let's keep going. Okay, so let's talk about varicosum, or wet node stick propagations. If you guys watched my Botanicas video, you would know all about that. If you haven't, don't forget to go and check that out after this video. But yeah, this guy is doing really, really well. It looks like he's got a new little leaf forming. I can't wait to see that little guy come out. I know it's supposed to be the first leaf that comes out after a activated node. Is supposed to be a really tiny little dinky leaf. So I can't wait to see that happen so we can see even more growth. This guy lives in a Ziploc bag propagation until he gets nice and strong. Okay, so I know that this is filthy. Don't even look at that. I bought this string of hearts a while back. I'm pretty sure I had an unboxing video of it where it was teensy tiny. You can tell I have a lot of I have two cats because there's all this cat hair that is mixed up in with the plant. I wouldn't say, I mean, it's growing really, really well, but it's so weird because I'm used to the leaves coming in and feeling really, really thick and textured and like rubbery, but these are still like, I think that it's because they're still really quite immature. They still feel like very papery thin. But it's definitely time to water this guy, so I'm glad that I am filming this today. This is one of the pros to filming like updates, is because then you can come around and essentially check on your plants. My philodendron lemon lime that I got from Nikki on the Discord is doing really, really well. It's putting out a new leaf right there. Yay for that. Hoya obscurus has these two new leaves that he's put out for me. I think they've pretty much hardened, and he still has a good new growth point. I think that he's transitioning to Leco well, so fingers crossed that he keeps doing well throughout the process. Philodendron pedatum is always doing the most. He's always putting out new growth almost every single day. I'm really, really glad that I have this guy because it's just very rewarding to have plants that are constantly growing for you and giving you, I don't know, a sense of feeling that you're doing something right. Also, speaking of a plant that is always giving me tons and tons of new growth, is my Hoya curtisii. Always producing so many new little vines, so many new little baby leaves. So happy with this plant. I'm taking several cuttings off of this guy. Definitely got some yellowing leaves from where it doesn't see a ton of sun, where it's dangling over here, but that's okay. It just happens. Yeah, this guy has always been really, really happy right here. I don't water him until the pot feels really nice and light. Like you can tell that there's not like a drop of moisture in these, because I'm really worried about overwatering these guys, because I had one of these guys years and years ago, probably back when I was like 19 or 20, so about 5 or 6 years ago. I had one of these guys and I overwatered it so severely and I murdered it. So round 2 is going much better than the first round. As always, I do apologize for any loud noises that you hear out here, like people speeding by, because there's not a whole lot I can do about it, but yeah. Hoya DS70 always has new growth and a beautiful peduncle that's already opened up for me. That is so awesome to see. Especially, this is even more rewarding than seeing no foliage. Also, my variegated lipstick plant finally started to, oh, I dropped the bloom. It's finally bloomed for me though, which I'm really excited about because it was the only lipstick plant that I had that didn't bloom for me. I think I found another bloom, but it's kind of hard. There we go. Another bloom right there. Super cute. I live. Philodendron Prince of Orange has a new growth point, or new foliage coming out right there. This is one of the plants that literally, as a new leaf comes out and unfurls, it almost always has another one on the way. I also don't really talk about my rubber plant over here because I have neglected him so badly. But he looks like he's putting out a new leaf pretty soon as well. Here is a regular green form of the Hoya Corniana, I believe. So much new growth. We have 2 peduncles right here and right here. Whenever I got this plant, I think the vines were about this long. So that means he has grown tremendously, and I love it. I am here for the new growth. Hoya acuta has all these new little baby leaves on it. Super cute. Hoya lacunosa. We're not talking about him today because I really need to repot him. So let's just keep moving. You guys, if you want to see peduncles, look at this. Like, one right there, one right here, and then another, oh my goodness, right here. Really hard to shoot. And then a third one right there. Insane. My Hoya carrii is finally peduncling for me, and whenever, like, I've had him for definitely a year. It's really crazy that there's like no leaves on that really long stem, but there's 3 peduncles, like unheard of. He's not doing a whole lot. Hoya obovata, reverse variegated, has put out 4 new leaves for me since I've had him. Oops, there's a lipstick plant leaf in there. He's put out 4 new leaves for me. He is killing it, and he still has an active growing point, so we love to see that. Hoya obovata regular form is finally finished with his 2nd peduncle. Really, really cute. He's doing really, really well. Has these nice little button leaves. What else? Monstera adansonii wide form is doing quite well as well. I have to remember not to water this guy so much because I think that's how I killed my narrow form. I have a really cute begonia over here that is blooming. I've had this guy for a year as well. It's always putting out beautiful new foliage for me. He loves the Florida humidity. Beautiful new leaf. The cool thing is about this plant is you can just literally chop this stem and just stick it right back in the soil, which is what I have done here, and it'll just bloom for you. Like you can get it here, but I never really even have to worry about like rooting hormone or anything like that. I literally just chop it and stick it right back in the soil, and it just grows perfectly. Okay, so my massive monstera has put out a beautiful new leaf for me. Oh, I can't wait for that to get even bigger. Look at all those fenestrations. It's beautiful, killing it. I can't wait to see it completely unfurl because it's still a little tightly wound up in there. Can't wait for it to totally harden off, and I want to see just how big it's actually going to be. My bird of paradise is absolutely stunning. It started off as this teensy tiny little pot that I bought for like $5 at Walmart, and I've had to upgrade it like 3 times now. So it is absolutely killing it. It is loving it here in Florida. If you're worried about like spending a lot of money on a bird of paradise, just get a small one. If you give it a good environment, it'll grow. It'll grow to be a massive beast. And I think I've had this guy maybe 2 months, and he's grown so much. Hoya compacta is throwing hands right here. This little tiny guy, if I can get it to focus, right here. And he's also got a ton more foliage growing in, like right here. All sorts of new little baby leaves on this guy. I cannot remember what the name of this guy is called, but he has a ton of new growth as well. It's easy to tell what part is new is because it's a much lighter, it's much more of a light green than the rest. So tons of new growth on this guy. He's having a good time. All right, let's talk about Hoya Wayetii. Hoya Wayetii has put out not just like, if I can get it to hold still, not just 1 peduncle, but 2. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. This is such a horrible angle. All right, so this is the second one. This is absolutely huge. He's always throwing hands like every single day. I don't think there's ever been a day that I haven't seen new growth from this guy. I might have talked about this before, but there was a while where he was literally just putting out vines and no foliage. So still new growth, but no new foliage. Oh my gosh, there's 2 more peduncles right there. Oh my god. And another one! What is this? What is today? Oh my god. Anyway, back to what I was saying. But he really wasn't putting out any new foliage, and but I really wasn't worried about it. And then one day, I think the wind blew him off of his little thing that I have him, his hook that he hangs on. And ever since then, he's, for some reason, grown really well for me. I don't know if he just needed to get the dirt rustled up on him, but whatever it is, it helped. And Hoya Wayetii is killing it, especially with like all these new peduncles. So I think I'm gonna end the update on my Cebu Blue, and I'm gonna call it a day. This guy is super duper long. He's growing really well. I think he started doing even better after I took a few cuttings from him. It definitely promoted a lot of new growth. Also, this girl, she grows every single day, so strong, so beautiful, so sweet and caring, every single day. Ceci, will you tell them to don't forget to enter the giveaway for the Black Pagoda lipstick plant, and if they like the content, to hit the thumbs up, and if they really like the content, to hit that subscribe button. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Say bye!